Hello. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. How was class?
I'm taking it one day at a time, and it's not going very well.
I feel you.
I have accounting, and that's not super fun.
It probably.
So you can check.
Is there a lot of background noise from me?
There's a little bit, yeah. It comes in spurts.
I'm gonna try moving up a little bit.
Alrighty.
Yep, this is our student senate office. We don't have real walls.
We have rows of desks, and then Jake and I have our individual offices.
Nice.
Yeah, do you want to take a tour around my office?
Sure.
Well, we have some chairs. We have a door, my whiteboard, calendar, my fantastic view of the parking lot, and then my office space.
Looks like a closet.
It is, but at least it's mine, right?
Yep.
I think you muted yourself. You muted yourself, man.
I was trying to block the sun, but it wasn't really working.
Oh, gotcha. Are we the only two in the conversation right now?
Yes, but it's being recorded live, so it goes on our YouTube page.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, now I regret showing you the office. Look, there's Shelby.
Hello.
How are you?
Let's switch sides, because I'll have to use the mouse.
Hey guys.
Yo, yo.
I thought somebody said something.
Let's go. I just threw this in here. Can you guys see that?
The little ping that went out?
I don't know, the agenda?
Not on my screen. But I saw a little thing that said you added the agenda or something. Little pop-up.
Where did Jordan go?
I saw that his mic was muted, so I wonder if he tried to restart it.
Okay.
Where did you attach the agenda on the email?
That's the...
It attaches the agenda.
I had it attached.
Oh, there it is. Goes to the bottom.
Apple products.
I know. Look, I got the iPhone 6. I think I was telling you about that.
Well, that's nice.
It's super nice.
Did you get the largest one?
No, the large one's huge. I got the little one.
Gotcha. Well, let's hope Jordan comes back.
Yeah,
Is Duel coming?
he should be. Let me see if he saw the Facebook message. Sam saw it. If not, we still technically have quorum, so. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, I suppose.
Shelby and I better not visit Eau Claire because then we have walking quorum.
What is it, a 45-minute drive? Does Artanya ever participate in these?
Yes, but she's not able to today, so.
Gotcha. Oh, Jordan's back.
Hey, he's
Awesome.
back.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good.
How's life over in Oshkosh?
I've just got out of a 3-hour meeting, so a little tired, but other than that, it's beautiful here, and it looks like it's beautiful where you are as well.
Absolutely. What meeting were you in?
We're renovating our union for our Student Leadership Involvement Center, and so it's been about a 2-year process so far, but we're in the final stages of hopefully having a schematic created and ready to be distributed to our students.
Very good. Very good.
That's awesome.
Okay.
You want to wait a couple more minutes on Duel, or you want to get started?
I'm gonna get started.
Okay.
So we're gonna go away, but we're gonna share our screen.
Okay.
Learn enough to sit this close to you.
Ah, okay.
So I made up a quick agenda. So roll call. Everybody's here but Duel. Open floor. Does anybody have anything right away?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No unfinished business. So meeting prep. Our first meeting, or second meeting technically, is at UW-Stevens Point on October 11th. So that is in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on that?
I guess, how do you mean?
Do you think it's doable?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're back from people. Do we have any kind of hotel stuff figured out yet?
Artanya was going to look into that. I did not get an opportunity to call Stevens Point yet, but I was going to try to call them this weekend. I have both their numbers.
Okay.
But regardless, I think most campuses are capable of reserving their own hotel room. I never really understood the purpose of blocking off rooms because we get the state rate anyways, so it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it anything as other than a nice guarantee, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I felt like, especially for the past SUFAC meeting, I mean, our hotel was kind of outside of Madison, not really in it, whereas there's the Lowell Center, which is literally like 2 blocks away from the Pyle Center, so yeah, we thought that we had to reserve rooms where the hotel designation is decided upon, but no, I think campuses should be able to find their own location.
Okay. And then, as far as meeting room and parking, that's all up to Stevens Point, and I'll get. In contacting campuses.
you're getting a little laggy on me. Can you go over that one more time?
Yeah.
Yep. So I kind of just divided up all the campuses between the 5 of us for contacting them. Just basically, I'll be sending out blanket emails to everyone, but it would be nice to try to get some individual contact with each of the campus listed for each person. I cannot talk today. Glad this is recorded.
Yeah.
But there's about 5 per person.
Yeah, I think it's completely doable.
You each have your home campus too, so it's really only 4.
Yeah.
So as far as agenda items, are there any types of motions we would be looking at introducing, or do you think are necessary?
Well, do you have anything first? I have a couple ideas, but I need to build them up a little bit still.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on. I'll be putting out a call for agenda items this weekend when I send out an email about the meeting. Once I touch bases with Stevens Point to make sure it's still doable.
Okay.
Discussion topics. Are there any other issues or anything that you think we should just put on as an executive committee on the agenda?
I think it'd be kind of fun to have well, not fun, but beneficial to have a group lobby day where we have representatives from all the student associations or student governments go to Madison. I know in Eau Claire we have what's called the Chippewa Valley Rally, where everyone from this kind of area, whether it be businesses, whether it be the EDC or the SGA or the university, go to Madison. We just talk on behalf of problems we have in the Chippewa Valley, or advocate on behalf of those problems. So I think we could do that, but for students, and I think that'd be pretty beneficial if we could take a Thursday or Friday to get that. And it would have to be after the election cycle, so that's how to plan it.
Yeah. It's definitely a good thing to try and do. I know Nick Zier tried doing that last year. There wasn't too much of a turnout, but yeah, definitely we would have to wait until about February.
Can actually.
And just like a session that we're trying to lobby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's a great thing that we can plan for, especially a big event that we can try. Especially now that, I mean, we're still in September, so if we plan for something the second semester of this academic year, we can definitely try getting a lot more people involved. Rather than last year, it was kind of like at the last minute, like 2 weeks out, let's all go to Madison for the day, and it wasn't really as beneficial as it could have been.
Yep. And what if we tried to open it up as more of a UW Systems student lobby day, where basically we just go as students?
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Awesome.
And there would be a ton of participants, at least I know from Oshkosh, who would be interested in doing that, who aren't fully involved just in our SGA, but would definitely be interested in speaking to the representatives on issues.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Any other discussion topics?
I guess, and Shelby, I'm sorry, I kind of dropped the ball on this one, but the legislative priorities document that Nick had created last year, I'd kind of like to see something similar to that this year. So yeah, I still have to send Shelby all of the discussion topics so that we can decide which ones we're going to write, but hopefully, I mean, 2 weeks out, we could probably have a draft form of that and just look over it as a body, as to see like what things we would like to change, things like that. And then hopefully by this coming meeting we can have the IGR committee set up, at which point they can go forward and just recreate and refine that document to all the needs from what is discussed during this discussion topic.
So I'll kind of put that as like an IGR preview.
Okay.
Cool. Something our campus is pretty interested in is like a campus climate, and that's in regards to issues of race and diversity and culture on campus. Late last year, we had a demonstration or a walk from marginalized students on campus who had seen a series of microaggressions, they called them. We had for instance, we had the Monk Student Association put on a display in our social sciences hall, and people could put post-it notes up in response to it, and naturally they drew some pretty off-color remarks, and then the response to it. So I was interested in seeing what other campuses do through their student governments that kind of deals with issues of race and diversity on campus.
I think that's great. So campus climate, I'll definitely make that explanation. I'll put an explanation with that because I was thinking climate change when you first brought that up.
What can Eau Claire do to change climate change? That was what I was getting at.
Okay. I think it would be good to have a discussion of voter ID. I know it's
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
that time, and I don't know what campuses are doing about that. We're issuing student IDs to anybody who wants one, or
Mhm.
voter IDs.
Same here.
Yeah, I guess just a question that I would have is, for the 2-year campuses, do they have the capabilities of providing IDs? Because I know at Oshkosh we're doing it for free, but there is a cost associated to the university. And with the 2 years, they're always saying that they're having issues with funding and things like that. So do they have the capabilities of providing those free IDs to their students?
I'm not sure at all.
I don't know either.
If not, we should look and see if maybe some of our campuses might be open to extending the offer that they send to our students to those campuses that are at least closely located to our universities.
Or so basically opening it up where any student can get an ID at any UW system campus.
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
There's an idea.
I don't know if that would be a little late.
Yeah, it might be a little late to push that through, but
Well,
it wouldn't hurt to ask.
here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be good for reps to also discuss a long-term solution as far as student IDs go. So any special guests we would like to attend?
Did Ray Cross talk to you? Like respond to you?
Not yet.
Okay.
I did email Ray Cross last night, so to set up a monthly meeting between myself, Sam, and Jordan, and we'll see what we get from that.
Okay.
Very cool.
Even if it's one meeting, I'd be happy, but I decided to shoot high for a month. I was thinking about inviting Sheila Harsdorf, possibly, to see if she would like to come.
To the next one?
Yeah. I know it's a little bit short notice,
Mhm.
but we're not too far from Stevens Point.
That's true.
And she does chair the higher education committee, so
That could be a good idea. I was thinking maybe point and find a legislator from there or even their chancellor to see if he has any thoughts or discussion topics.
Mhm. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Both are great ideas, but I think like when campuses and universities host a student reps meeting, it's kind of like their time to shine almost.
Right. Yep.
So we can do a combination of both.
Yeah.
I mean that'd be perfectly fine as well. But I think trying to get at least one person that's local to the Stevens Point area, that would be beneficial.
sounds great. Breakout sessions. Do we want to do breakout sessions at this meeting? I know we just got done with the SUFAC Summit, and that was pretty much all one big training.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's really necessary. I guess this is Sam's duties as vice chair, so I'll kind of leave it up to you.
Yeah, the only thought I had, and let me know if this has any merit, would be to have like team building exercises, so everyone understands that this isn't necessarily about representing your university; it's about representing UW students, and that's why we're at student reps. So maybe to build some kind of more cohesive structure, you could get people in small groups and just go over some kind of fun activities, fun team building things, just to get people, feeling a bit warmer towards each other. So often at these meetings you have just tables of your own delegation, and you sit by yourselves, and then you don't really go and talk to anyone, and that's not the point, right? We need to network and work together. So that was the idea I've had. Let me know if that.
I think that's great.
Perfect. I
And
can
it
do-
would be a nice time to have a break in the day, in the middle
Yeah,
of the
for sure.
meeting.
I'll see if I can't find a fun thing to do. I know a good one that I did in an internship later this year or earlier this year was you get marshmallows and bits of like model like
Oh, I did that.
model,
Like
yeah, and then
2
you
weeks
see who can build it down to structure. I mean, these these little things, they sound kind of silly, but they really do help people kind of open up and together.
Okay. So, IGR committee members is next on the agenda. So, elections at the next meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Having a committee would be good.
Okay, legislative priority summary timeline. So, I guess Jordan kind of went over this already, what he was planning.
Yeah, I think
Pre-
if we could get a draft out by this coming student reps meeting, that'd be most ideal. If
Mhm.
not by this time, maybe just collect more ideas from the members as to see what they would like in such a document. But I would like to have something formally passed and just approved by student reps before the end of this fall semester.
Yep. And I know we do have our online meeting, and the legislative priority summary could be basically the main focus of that, just finalizing it and passing it at that meeting.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be November 7th.
Okay, yeah, I think that'd be fine. Shelby, do you have any ideas or any input on that?
I like that idea, especially at the online meeting. Getting it
Okay.
fun.
Awesome. You said that, what was the date for the online meeting?
November
7th. Did you get that?
I did.
All right. And then UW system committees is not here, but I will be sending out an email along with everything else, telling people what committees are still available, and basically each campus nominates students for those committees.
Do those committees meet in Madison, or do they meet much like we're meeting?
I'm pretty sure they always have teleconference available,
Okay.
but I think they actually hold a meeting because most of it's just system people.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then next on the agenda is a reps website. I do some like website design and stuff, and I think I could probably have a good functioning website up for reps like within a week. And do you think that would be more beneficial to do like our registration for the meetings through like a Google form, like embedded on a website, rather than going through the system website?
I would like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. And I know on the previous reps website, that we're missing some documents like the updated constitution, some of the new bylaws, the white paper. So, I think it'd be good to have those embedded on the website as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll try to get that done this weekend. We
Awesome.
can do registration on there and everything.
Cool.
So, goals for this year. Are there any major goals you would like to see?
More participation from the two-year campuses. I understand that, yeah, sometimes they can't always make it to the meetings, but I mean, when we run through the two-year campuses, there's usually 2 to 3 that are present, and they are just as important as all 4 years. I mean, they still have the same amount of representation and voice that us 4 years have, so we can't lose sight of that.
This isn't particularly quantifiable, but kind of going off of what's saying about just getting more connections between the campuses and like stop thinking for ourselves and our own campuses, but more for the UW system, and just trying to reach out to other campuses.
I have one, and I don't know again how it would be quantified, but I guess it'd be like having a heightened air of legitimacy for this body, whether it be between just ourselves as a gut check or across UW system, and we can really let people understand that this is the governing or overarching structure that students would be reporting to have of. And then even with ourselves, knowing that people can't just kind of stroll in and out of a meeting or show up late or those kinds of things where we're here to get stuff done and we're here because not only are we passionate about representing people, we want to get some work done.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see us eventually, possibly second semester, actually present our legislative priority summaries to the Board of Regents. That goes along with the legitimacy thing, but I think if we get to that point where on an annual basis, reps presenting this document we create that basically states this is where the students of the UW system stand, I think that would almost serve the purpose of reps.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Definitely.
That's good. And we so much of presenting something like that is having confident public speakers and being well dressed and put together. And thankfully we have Jordan as our IGR chair. His voice sounds like he descended from Mount Sinai not too long ago.
Make me blush.
Fantastic public speaker and can hold himself as professionally as any of us. So.
Well, I'm just trying to match all of you fine individuals.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you have all of us beat. Okay. I think 3 things are great goals, and if we accomplished all those, we'd do better than we did last year.
Those are kind of the mountain.
It's a good solid goal to have.
But we've been improving every year, so. So next executive meetings, I think it would be good to meet every week before Stevens Point. So meeting next week also. Does that sound good to everybody?
Absolutely.
Fine with me.
Okay, I will send out a message just getting your availability, and I'll select a time. I'm guessing probably later in the week works best for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, how long do you guys' Senate meetings last?
Depends.
Is it budget season?
Say last week, how long did you go for?
The last one went for like an
Hour and 45
minutes. Yeah.
Typical.
We had a presentation from like an outside speaker.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So, reports. Does anybody have anything for a report? It's our first meeting, so.
Just excited to start working with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. For additional items and announcements, all I have is a list of the Regent meetings, and then the reps meeting schedule. So October 11th in Stevens Point, November 7th online, December 6th in Waukesha, and then I kind of threw out 3 meetings for next semester. I think it would be good to set these by Stevens Point, and I wanted to get your feedback on these. So possibly February 7th meeting in Wisconsin Dells. It's 20 minutes from Baraboo-Sauk County, so we could have them host, but there's a lot of good meeting space there, and I think it would be something that could help draw campuses in that haven't been attending.
Right. Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I like it. I think we talked a little bit about it last time around, and it could be hosted by Baraboo-Sauk. At the same time, it's sort of a neutral location, and it's kind of centralized in the state. So those are all good things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Plus, it'd be something a little new. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
People interested.
And it would go back to the goal of getting campuses united. Like after the meeting, everyone goes, to the water park or something. That'd be really cool.
Okay.
On another note, also the meeting for the Board of Regents is February 5th and 6th in Madison, so Wisconsin Dells is pretty close to that.
Yeah.
And then the March 6th one would be the Friday following the Board of Regents online because it's their short meeting. And then we're already going to UW Waukesha for our December meeting, so Madison would be up for the April 11th because they're close to Waukesha, and we haven't officially went to UW Madison for a reps meeting in a while. We've been to their first system. So,
Um,
and yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I was just curious if we're sold on the hard March 6th online meeting. Is that set in stone?
No.
I'd love to volunteer Eau Claire for it if anyone else is interested.
I like how close Eau Claire is.
One thing we would have to figure out logistically about the online meetings is if we do Google Hangouts, we can only have 15 callers at a time. So that may be a challenge where we might want to choose like where we have a few like locations across the state and where we have like basically like 10 or 5 different call-in locations.
Okay. That's a good idea.
That could be doable.
Right. That's a good idea.
But I definitely see the value in meeting in one place a few times a year.
Mhm.
But for us to be able to meet more regularly, I think we need to do help from some sort of technology.
Right. Okay.
I want to go back to the UW Madison date.
Yep.
I don't know if people might be completely sold on it. I know I'm not, mainly because while yes, we're there for SUFAC, it still feels as if we're there for a reps meeting because we still hold one.
I
So
agree. I don't really want to go back to Madison.
What about Milwaukee? I know we went there last year.
yeah, what about Whitewater maybe?
Sounds good.
Whitewater, huh?
I mean, we would definitely have to see if they're interested in hosting it, but I don't know, in the past 2 years they haven't hosted one yet, so could be a possibility.
Was Whitewater meeting last
They
time?
hosted one 2 years ago, the last one of the year.
Oh, they did? Okay.
But I'll go back. It was a good meeting. We didn't meet quorum, but it was a good meeting. It was actually the same meeting, so we were all sitting there. We didn't meet quorum, so there wasn't much to do, but we just had discussion. And then they announced the tuition freeze during that meeting.
Wow.
Oh my
So
God.
it was a fun meeting.
That's cool.
Some people thought their lives were over, and then some organizations were like, this is the most horrible thing ever, and then 2 weeks later sent out a big email saying how they were the ones responsible for it.
Okay then. So no on Whitewater, or
Oh, that was a
Oh yes,
yes on
on
Whitewater.
Whitewater.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The ayes have it. All right, so I'll just put that on the agenda for a proposed schedule, and then we'll work out any issues there are during the meeting.
okay.
That's all we have on our agenda. Anything else for additional items and announcements?
Yeah. And Jordan, do you have to bug out at 4:30, or can you stay?
No, I can stay. It's fine.
Okay. I thought there was a conflict or a scheduling conflict, but I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about the bylaw change that was introduced at last meeting.
Okay.
What about it?
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought I had to wait for the approval. I've my brother and a couple of his friends live down in Madison. He's going to law school, and he'll hear like through the cafeteria or whatever, because he's still pretty in tune with student government, about some stuff going on. And apparently there was some talk that the Wisconsin Student Association could be used as a that could overturn the MRF, mandatory. Yeah, so the MRF and become the new United Council. I'm just making sure it's on everyone's radar, and if you have any kind of comments about that.
How did they hear about that?
Yeah, is that something people talk about?
Apparently so. There was, and this I've heard this report about 3 times now, that there's an active push to overturn the MRF ruling. So
I don't think it's going to happen.
well, I don't either. I was just wondering what you guys' thoughts are on it. or if it's so you know, astronomically wrong that not even something to consider.
I guess one thing that I kind of had going through my head is if you introduced it and you had a dues paying system where if you didn't pay any dues, you're still a member, but you don't count towards quorum.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be different rates, 2 years and 4 years, because we're different, but we're part of the same system. But basically, it could help us address quorum, but yet everybody would still be a voting member.
Okay. And I remember we talked about that briefly online, I think. Jordan, do you have any thoughts?
Just on the MRF or the WSA?
Whatever you're feeling.
Well, I'm open to the MRF coming back, but it needs to go to the right organization. And I don't think that United Council is the right organization for such a source of funding. They haven't convinced me that they've changed for the better yet. So until then, if there's no organization that's presenting itself as, I guess, for lack of a better term, worthy of such an MRF, I think it should stay the way it currently is.
And do you see as the WSA to be or could ever be that active arm that does deserve MRF funding?
Oh, it definitely could be. I mean, there's no doubting its potential. It's just whether or not initially it could serve the functions correctly.
Okay. And I think this kind of draws back to the legitimacy thing that I pointed out earlier, where we have to be taken seriously by ourselves before we can be taken seriously by outside sources.
Definitely.
And when I was talking about a dues paying system, originally I was thinking like extremely small dues compared to like a student government budget where basically it would fund our basically advertising or like campaigns where it would be like for a 4-year $300 per campus. So something very small relative to 4-year budgets.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, it would just give the executive board and student reps something to work with if they wanted to do some type of campaign.
Gotcha. Okay. That's all I had.
All right. Well, I'm guessing that's going to be a discussion that happens off and on for a couple years. But for now, I think it would be good for reps to gain the legitimacy we need to actually represent students at the state level.
Gotcha.
So, have you sent out the WSA resolution, or I guess amendment, to all of the campuses and universities yet?
It was sent out with the reps agenda.
Okay. Just want to make sure everyone has the ability to look it over and understand it. So hopefully at this next coming reps meeting we can, or at least since you're the author of it, you can help address some concerns that anyone might have.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on still chairing, so like it's so awkward because I'm like, well, Shelby didn't write it, so we're supposed to speak to it. Okay. Anyways, 35 minutes, pretty efficient.
Yep.
Good job.
Awesome.
Motion to it.
Yep.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We are adjourned.
All right. It's great to meet all of you. Shelby, I'll be in contact with you. And yeah, see you guys later.